Think kindness is just empty words? This story will change your mind. Ethan Carter, Seattle's finance king. He rules Wall Street from a cold, high tower. His company, an empire fueled by cash. Billion-dollar deals, his signature sharp as a blade. But Ethan lives in shadow. A lavish penthouse, no laughter inside. He wakes at 5 sharp. Strong coffee, thick reports, not a minute late. Each day, he drifts through Seattle like a chill wind. Black car, driver silent as stone. Ethan, a perfect machine, flawless. But his heart, long numb to pain. He sees no one. Passers-by, mere faceless blurs. Until that fateful moment. Pike Street, a gloomy Seattle afternoon. A voice rises. Clear, trembling, unique. A girl 6 years old stands at the curb. Sophie Bennett. Faded pink coat, tangled brown hair, toy microphone in hand. She sings, though her eyes see no light. Her voice, a ray of sun through gray clouds. Seattle's clamor falls silent. Pedestrians pause, eyes glistening. Ethan, for the first time, slows his stride. Sophie's voice, a blade, pierces his heart. Not the song, but the soul in each note. Something he'd forgotten, real emotion. He steps closer, the crowd parts. Sophie sings, face lifted high. I'm blind, but I love to sing, she smiles. Ethan's rooted to the spot. 6 years old, homeless, sightless. Yet her song, stronger than Wall Street. Standing amid the crowd, fearless, unyielding. Singing with a heart ablaze. Ethan, cold billionaire, forgets his meeting. Forgets stocks. Forgets the world. Sophie, seeing nothing, sees kindness. In others' hearts, in her own. This isn't just a Seattle story. It's a miracle of faith, compassion, of family found in the unexpected. If you saw a blind girl singing, would you stop? Or walk on like the city once did? This story will make you cry. It'll make you believe and act. Share your story in the comments. If Sophie touched your heart, like, share, subscribe. Don't leave. Seattle, Washington. City of glass towers and grand dreams. Ethan Carter, crowned Seattle's finance king. He rules Wall Street from a cold peak. His company, a monetary empire. Billion-dollar deals, his signature, sharp as a razor. But Ethan lives in shadow. A lavish penthouse, cold as a crypt. He wakes at 5 sharp. Black coffee, thick reports, not a beat missed. His black car glides down Pike Street. Driver silent as stone. Ethan, a machine, precise, unerring. But his heart, long numb to pain. Once, young Ethan grew up hungry. Empty stomach, torn shoes, roaming Seattle. Parents gone early, memories blurred in cold nights. Passers-by rushed on. No one stopped. He rose, built an empire, but buried deep, a relentless loneliness. No family, no close friends, just work and a nameless void. He cuts through Seattle's crowds, but no one truly touches him. A gust passing through life, living fast, not truly alive. In another corner of Seattle, Sophie Bennett, 6, blind since birth. She lives in a tiny, cracked-wall apartment, doors barely hinged. Her mom, Emily, 2 jobs worn thin. Mornings pouring coffee, nights scrubbing floors. Her dad left when Sophie couldn't yet say dad. A man who can't love a child like you, her mom once said. Sophie, faded pink coat, tangled brown hair. She holds a toy microphone, singing on the street. Her voice, a ray of light through gray skies. Strong, clear, no eyes needed to see beauty. Emily taught her one thing. Kindness is a flame that never fades. Sophie keeps her mom's words. She sings to make strangers smile. She paints with her mind's eye. A house with mom, filled with laughter. They sleep on a torn fabric couch, sharing a crust of bread in rainy nights. That afternoon, Pike Street dim. Sophie steps forward, old Mike, worn backpack. No one stops. No one looks. A small shadow in the rushing crowd. Ethan and Sophie, worlds apart. One at the summit, heart barren. One blind, but brimming with light. They'd never met, until that fateful moment. Sophie's voice rises. Clear, steady, singing for the world. Ethan halts. First time in years. She lifts her head, eyes clouded. I'm blind, she says. Then smiles. Ethan's heart lurches, struck by a gale. 6 years old. Homeless. Sightless. But her song, mightier than any billion-dollar deal. His heart tightens, alive again. Sophie sees nothing, but sees kindness in others' hearts. If you saw a girl singing on the street, would you stop? Or walk on like Seattle once did? This isn't just a miracle. It's a journey of compassion, of a heart awakened. And the story is just beginning. Because sometimes Pike Street, Seattle, dusk falling. A voice rises, light as a breeze, yet radiant as the day's last sunbeam. Sophie Bennett, 6, faded pink coat, toy microphone in hand, singing amidst the crowd. Ethan Carter, finance king, strides through. Her small voice halts his steps. That voice, a soft blade, slicing his barren chest. I'm blind, Sophie says, beaming wide, but I love to sing. Ethan stands frozen, no longer master of the world. 6 years old, sightless, homeless, but her song, bigger than Wall Street's bells. His heart, for the first time, tightens. Sophie lowers her mic, head bowed. Her smile, as if music is all she needs. Ethan kneels, level with her sightless gaze. Who's with you? He asks, voice like mist. My mom's nearby, Sophie replies. Pearl Cafe, 2 blocks away. He looks at her, waves stirring within. He remembers his mother, singing to him. Her voice warm like this, but no one stopped. She was gone. Now a girl dares to sing on a cold street. You sing beautifully, he whispers. Sophie cheers. Thank you, sir. He rises, eyes scanning. The crowd's gone, just Sophie and sunset remain. Can I find your mom? He asks. Sophie nods. Her plastic mic glows pink. Ethan walks on. Seattle hums again, but his heart echoes her song. Pearl Cafe. Dusty glass door, warm coffee scent. Chalkboard sign. Early coffee, late smiles. Emily Bennett behind the counter. Sunken eyes, hair tied haphazardly. Her hands wipe cups, swift but trembling. Ethan pushes the door, bell jingling. Hello, he says. I'm Ethan Carter. I met Sophie. Emily freezes, eyes flashing suspicion. Sophie? Is she okay? She's fine. More than fine. Ethan smiles faintly. Her voice stopped me. I needed to meet you. Emily eyes his tailored suit, gleaming watch. Ethan Carter, the billionaire? Her voice skeptical. He nods. A faint smile, not proud. You're raising an angel. Emily's lips tighten. We don't need pity. It's not pity. I want to help, genuinely. Her singing, it made me remember. His voice catches. I saw something I'd lost. Emily softens. Sophie always does that. To everyone. She speaks, voice barely a breath. She's been blind since birth. Never sad. She sings to make people happy. But 2 jobs aren't enough. Rent's gone, our home's cold nights long. Ethan falls silent. He thinks of his empty penthouse, dust on wine bottles. He has everything, but no light. Sophie 6 with nothing, yet gives the brightest gift. What can I do? Ethan asks. Emily shakes her head, eyes red. We're used to this life. But thank you for noticing her. Ethan clenches his fist, his voice firm. I'll come back, not for pity, because Sophie deserves more. Emily looks at him. For the first time, her gaze unguarded. For the first time, a flicker of hope. Ethan returns to Pike Street. Sophie's still there. Her voice rings, drowning out car horns. He stands, not a tycoon anymore, just a man newly awake. He pulls his phone, calls urgently. Cancel all meetings this afternoon. Find details on Emily Bennett. His assistant gasps. Boss, shareholders are waiting. Ethan cuts her off. This matters more. He watches Sophie, her plastic mic aglow. A blind girl brighter than him. That moment, Pike Street, Seattle, twilight glow. Sophie Bennett's voice rings, a piercing light. 6 years old, faded pink coat, toy microphone. She stands at the corner, singing through the crowd. Ethan Carter, finance king, halts. I'm blind, Sophie smiles, eyes shimmering. His heart clenches, aching for the first time. He finds Emily, her mom, at Pearl Cafe. Emily, weary eyes, wipes cups swiftly. We don't need pity, she says. Ethan replies, it's not pity. I want to help because Sophie deserves it. But he needs the truth. Why is Sophie blind? Why so resilient? Ethan returns to Pearl Cafe the next day. Emily pours coffee, hands trembling. He sits in the corner, voice low. How do you and Sophie live? Emily pauses, staring at the foggy glass. Her voice soft, like a passing breeze. Sophie's been blind since birth, she begins. Doctors said no hope. I work 2 jobs, dawn to dusk. But rent's a weight we can't lift. Our apartment, stained walls, creaking door. We share bread crusts every night. Ethan sits still, hands like stone. He thinks of his penthouse, cold, empty. Emily continues, eyes red. Sophie's dad left when she was a newborn. Couldn't love a child like her, she says. But Sophie never complains. She sings to make others smile. Ethan's silent, pierced through. A finance king yet numb. Sophie, 6, rich in kindness. How does Sophie learn? He asks. Emily sighs, voice catching. Public school, no support. She learns Braille by touch. But I can't afford new books. Ethan's chest aches, waves crashing. He remembers his mom, singing to him as a boy. She died, no help, just him. Now Sophie and Emily stand here. No sight, but full of hope. Ethan rises, voice firm. I'll find a way for Sophie. Emily eyes him, skeptical. Why would someone like you help? Ethan pauses, voice trembling. Sophie sang, and I saw light. She changed me that day. Emily smiles, soft for the first time. He sits in his high-rise office. Seattle sprawls below, a void in his heart. The next day, Ethan calls his assistant. Find the best pediatric eye surgeon. His assistant gasps. Boss, shareholder meeting. Ethan cuts her off. This is priority. A week later, news arrives. A surgeon in Portland saw Sophie's video. Her singing, viral across Seattle. Hashtag SophieShine, touching 1 million hearts. The doctor says there's a chance, Ethan explains. Surgery could let Sophie see. Emily freezes, hands shaking on a cup. See? Really? She asks, voice breaking. Only a 30% chance, Ethan says. High risk and costly. Ethan turns to Sophie, voice gentle. Someone wants to help you see light. Sophie blinks, smiling. I don't know what light is. But if Mom smiles, I want to see it. Emily hugs her tight, sobbing silently. Ethan stands still, eyes stinging. A blind girl, brighter than him. Emily bows her head, voice quaking. I can't pay, even if I sell everything. Ethan meets her gaze, voice steady. I'll cover the cost. Sophie deserves this. Emily gasps, eyes red. Why? Who are we to you? Ethan smiles, voice warm. Sophie showed me kindness. She's a miracle since that day. Emily cries, hands over her face. No one's helped all these years. Ethan takes her hand, gently. Now someone will, he says, a vow. Sophie sings, her toy mic aglow. Who are Sophie, Emily Bennett? How are they so strong in darkness? If you saw someone in need, would you stop? Or walk on as Seattle did? This isn't the end, but a beginning. When kindness meets fate. A girl daring to sing in shadows. And a man finally listening. Because sometimes one small act. Seattle, Pike Street, twilight's glow. Sophie Bennett's voice, a beam through the bustling street. 6 years old, faded pink coat, plastic microphone. She sings, though her eyes have never seen. Ethan Carter, finance king, halts. I'm blind, Sophie smiles, eyes shimmering. His heart tightens, pain for a stranger, first time. He finds Emily, her mom, at Tiny Pearl Cafe. Emily shares, Sophie's blind from birth. I work 2 jobs, still not enough. Ethan whispers, I'll help. A Portland doctor offers hope. Surgery could let Sophie see. I want to see Mom smile, Sophie murmurs. Emily hugs her, crying silently. But the system isn't kind. Ethan returns to his city's highest tower. Shareholders meet behind icy glass. Words like knives. Ethan's weak. Feelings will sink this company. We need a new CEO, no kids, no baggage. Rumors whip through the market. Ethan sits, Seattle fading to gray dusk. He touches the void in his chest. 2 thoughts collide. Hold the empire. Thousands depend on you. But Sophie needs you. Her world is dark. He sees Sophie's hand-drawn picture, a house mom, chimney smoke. He chooses heart over throne. But the system blocks the way. The foster system sends a cold letter. Surgery delayed, Carter's motives questioned. He reads, fists clenching. They think he's using Sophie? He calls his lawyer. Prove I'm doing this for her, not branding. He goes to Pearl. Emily's voice trembles. What more do they want? Sophie's my daughter. Ethan rests a hand on her shoulder, voice a vow. No one will steal her hope. The live stream begins. Seattle holds its breath. I'm telling you about Sophie, Ethan says. 6 years old. Blind. But she made me see. If a child sings in darkness to bring joy, then I, an adult, can't stand still. If this company won't stand for what's right, I'll walk away. The city ignites. Sophie still sings, her microphone aglow. Emily grips Ethan's hand. Can we do this? He nods. With Sophie we have to. Who are you when the world turns away? Do you pass someone in need? Or stop? This isn't an end, but a beginning. When a girl sings through the dark, and a man at last listens. Because sometimes one small act can save an entire life. Seattle, Pike Street, twilight's glow. Sophie Bennett's voice, a radiant beam. 6 years old, faded pink coat, toy microphone. She sings, though her eyes see nothing. Ethan Carter, finance king, halts. I'm blind, Sophie smiles, eyes aglow. His heart clenches, pain for the first time. He finds Emily, her mom, at Pearl Cafe. Emily shares, Sophie's blind from birth. I want to see mom smile, Sophie says. Shareholders demand his resignation. The foster system blocks her surgery. Ethan live streams, I choose justice. Seattle falls silent, hanging on his words. He sits at his office's peak, hand on the void in his chest. Sophie, 6, a spark of light. He plans a small concert for her. A park near Pike Street, golden lights flickering. Wooden stage, gentle musicians. Emily holds her daughter's hand, eyes anxious. She's never sung for a crowd. Sophie tilts her head, voice clear. I want to thank Mr. Ethan. Ethan kneels, level with her. You're the light, Sophie, he says. She nods, real microphone in hand. New pink dress, green ribbon in her hair. Sophie hears summer crickets first time. They sound like sunlight, she says. That night, the park hushes. Seattle gathers, eyes bright with hope. Sophie steps up, a glowing spark. She sings her own words from the heart. Light in the Heart, she names it. A song of her mom, Pike Street, kindness. I can't see, but I know. Kindness is light, never fading. Each note, a quiet flame. The crowd stills, eyes misty. Emily stands by Ethan, hand gripping his. She cries, for once, not from despair. Ethan's frozen, hands like stone. He recalls his mom, alone at markets, begging for work, met with cold stares. Now Sophie sings like his mom once did. Her voice, a mirror, reflecting him. Finance king, once numb, now transformed. When Sophie finishes, silence. Then the park rises, clapping. Not cheers, but gratitude. Strangers embrace, crying through smiles. Sophie bows, smiling. I hope you're happy, she says. Ethan steps up, hugs her. You did more than that, he whispers. The concert video sweeps Seattle. Hashtag Sophie Shine, touching 1 million hearts. Strangers bring books, clothes to Sophie. A school offers, full scholarship. Emily, eyes red, whispers. She changed a city. Ethan smiles, voice warm. No, she changed me first. But the foster system persists. New letter. Surgery delayed, motives questioned. Shareholders meet. Ethan's unfit as CEO. He doesn't answer, just sees her drawing. A house, chimney smoke, mom and child. A world Sophie can't see, but believes. He calls his lawyer, voice sharp. Prepare everything for Sophie. The lawyer sighs, voice heavy. The system's tough, needs proof. Ethan turns to Emily at Pearl. We'll fight, he says, a vow. Emily nods, eyes alight with hope. For Sophie, she says, voice trembling. Sophie sings, small microphone aglow. She doesn't know a miracle nears. Who is Sophie Bennett? How is she so strong in darkness? What have you done for what's right? Or let injustice win? This isn't an end, but a start. When kindness meets fate. A girl daring to sing in shadows. And a man, finally listening. Because sometimes one small act can save an entire life. Seattle, Pike Street, twilight's glow. A girl's voice, sunlight through the dusk. Sophie Bennett, 6, faded pink dress, toy microphone. She sings on the street, her eyes unseeing. Ethan Carter, finance king, halts. I'm blind, Sophie smiles, eyes alight. His heart tightens, pain for the first time. He finds Emily, her mom, at Pearl Cafe. Emily sighs. Sophie's blind from birth. I just want to see mom smile once, Sophie says. Shareholders rage, demanding his resignation. The foster system stalls her surgery. Ethan live streams, staring into the camera. I choose compassion, not power. Seattle holds its breath. Screens stay on. They listen, as if hearing their own hearts. Ethan builds a small wooden stage. A park, golden lights, soft musicians. Sophie steps out, real microphone in hand. New pink dress, green ribbon in her hair. She sings, kindness is light that never fades. Her voice clear, each note piercing hearts. The park stills, then erupts. Grown-ups cry. Strangers embrace. Ethan stands by Emily. She made me see myself. But challenges don't relent. Shareholders convene. Ethan's unfit. The foster system writes. Surgery delayed, motives questioned. He rises, eyes on Sophie's drawing. A house, chimney smoke, mom and child. A world she's never seen, but trusts. Sell my shares, he says. Start the Sophie Bennett Fund, for every blind child. Emily chokes. You're giving up everything? Ethan's eyes shine. I'm choosing more, a family. The surgery day in Portland. Ethan charters a plane for Emily, Sophie. White room, soft light. Sophie lies still, eyes bandaged. 9 hours pass, a lifetime. The doctor emerges, voice like dawn mist. It worked. She's stable. Emily sobs. Ethan stands silent. They enter. Sophie stirs. The bandages lift. She blinks, slow, trembling. Then she cries. Mom, I see you smile. Sophie turns, sees Ethan. You look like the light in my song. He hugs her, not a tycoon anymore. Just a father, loving with his whole heart. A new drawing. A house. Chimney smoke. 3 together. Our home, Sophie whispers, eyes radiant. Shareholders fall quiet. The foster system backs off. Sophie starts school. The city transforms. But this isn't just a miracle. It's a choice. To rise, though it costs all. And you? Have you stopped for a small voice in the crowd? Have you listened, instead of passing by? This isn't an end. It's a beginning. When kindness, just once, softens the world. Because sometimes one small act can save an entire life. Under Seattle's sky, a miracle began. Sophie Bennett, once singing in darkness, now sees light. 6 years old, worn pink dress, toy microphone. She stood at Pike Street's corner, voice like summer sun. Ethan Carter, finance tycoon, froze. I'm blind, Sophie smiled, eyes brimming with faith. His heart ached, for a stranger, first time. He found Emily, single mom, at Pearl Cafe. I want to see mom smile, Sophie whispered. Ethan left his throne, sold his shares. One surgery, one miracle. Sophie opened her eyes. Mom! Her voice broke free. Ethan hugged her, heart warm as spring dawn. But the story didn't end there. Seattle transformed, kindness rippling wide. Sophie saw blue skies for the first time. Like crickets singing, she said, smile brighter than the sun. She drew a small house, chimney smoke curling. 3 figures stood together, Mom, Mr. Ethan, and her. The city woke. Neighbors brought milk, storybooks, warm muffins. A school called, full scholarship for Sophie. Sophie jumped. I'll go to class. Emily hugged her daughter, eyes blurred with joy. She touched all of Seattle, she whispered. Ethan smiled. No, she touched my heart first. The Sophie Bennett Fund bloomed. Blind children citywide got treatment, school dreams. Emily took a job at a cozy bookstore nearby. A new apartment, sunlight spilling through windows. Sophie slept soundly, clutching a new brown bear. By day she drew, painting the city. This is Seattle, she said. Everyone's big house. The community threw a party, welcoming new light. Pike Park glowed with lanterns, hundreds gathered. An engineer said, Sophie taught me to slow down. An old woman whispered, she made me call my son. Mrs. Carter, Ethan's assistant, teared up. She showed me why I started. Hashtag Sophie Shine spread far. A small town elsewhere launched their own fund. They hung Sophie's picture, wrote, kindness needs no conditions. Ethan and Emily sat at Pearl Cafe. We did it, Ethan said, hand clasping hers. Emily smiled, breeze stirring her hair. No. Sophie taught us to believe we could. Sophie gave him a drawing, a house, chimney smoke, 3 together. But the journey didn't end. The foster system watched from afar. Former shareholders murmured behind oak doors. Ethan knew storms still loomed. But he looked at Sophie, eyes like the first star after rain. A girl once blind, now lighting a city. This story isn't just Seattle's. It's about something simple. Kindness. Have you ever stopped for someone? Offered a smile or a word of defense? Sophie 6 did it. She sang when others turned away. Emily, a lone mother, did it. She fought with a broken heart. Ethan, once cold as office glass, did it. He traded a crown for a home. And Seattle did it. With heart. But this story doesn't end here. It waits for you at some street corner. A glance, a song. A small flame, born in Seattle. Now lighting the world. Because sometimes one small act can save an entire life. Seattle, Washington, city of glass towers and grand dreams. Ethan Carter, crowned Seattle's finance king. He rules Wall Street from a cold peak. His company, a monetary empire. Billion-dollar deals, his signature, sharp as a razor. But Ethan lives in shadow. A lavish penthouse, cold as a crypt. He wakes at 5 sharp. Black coffee, thick reports, not a beat missed. His black car glides down Pike Street. Driver silent as stone. Ethan, a machine, precise, unerring. But his heart, long numb to pain. Once, young Ethan grew up hungry. Empty stomach, torn shoes, roaming Seattle. Parents gone early, memories blurred in cold nights. Passers-by rushed on. No one stopped. He rose, built an empire. But buried deep, a relentless loneliness. No family, no close friends. Just work and a nameless void. He cuts through Seattle's crowds. But no one truly touches him. A gust passing through life, living fast, not truly alive. In another corner of Seattle, Sophie Bennett, 6, blind since birth. She lives in a tiny, cracked-wall apartment, doors barely hinged. Her mom, Emily, 2 jobs, worn thin. Mornings pouring coffee, nights scrubbing floors. Her dad left when Sophie couldn't yet say dad. A man who can't love a child like you, her mom once said. Sophie, faded pink coat, tangled brown hair. She holds a toy microphone, singing on the street. Her voice, a ray of light through gray skies. Strong, clear, no eyes needed to see beauty. Emily taught her one thing. Kindness is a flame that never fades. Sophie keeps her mom's words. She sings to make strangers smile. She paints with her mind's eye. A house with mom, filled with laughter. They sleep on a torn fabric couch, sharing a crust of bread in rainy nights. That afternoon, Pike Street dim. Sophie steps forward, old Mike, worn backpack. No one stops. No one looks. A small shadow in the rushing crowd. Ethan and Sophie, worlds apart. One at the summit, heart barren. One blind, but brimming with light. They'd never met. Until that fateful moment. Sophie's voice rises. Clear. Steady. Singing for the world. Ethan halts. First time in years. She lifts her head, eyes clouded. I'm blind, she says. Then smiles. Ethan's heart lurches, struck by a gale. 6 years old. Homeless. Sightless. But her song, mightier than any billion-dollar deal. His heart tightens, alive again. Sophie sees nothing, but sees kindness in others' hearts. If you saw a girl singing on the street, would you stop? Or walk on like Seattle once did? This isn't just a miracle. It's a journey of compassion, of a heart awakened. And the story is just beginning. Because sometimes one small act can save an entire life. Under Seattle's sky, a miracle spread. Sophie Bennett, once singing in darkness, now sees light. 6 years old, faded pink dress, toy microphone. She stood at Pike Street's corner, voice like sunlight through fog. Ethan Carter, finance tycoon, paused. I can't see, Sophie smiled, eyes gleaming with dreams. His heart clenched. Pain for a stranger, first time. He found Emily, her mom, in the Weathered Pearl Cafe. Emily shared, "Sophie was born blind." "I just want to see Mom smile," Sophie whispered. Ethan stepped down, sold his shares. One surgery, one moment of awe. Sophie saw her mom. "Mom!" Her cry spilled with tears. Seattle threw a small party, welcoming a girl who saw light. Sophie drew a slanted roof house, warm chimney smoke. The community spread the miracle with #SophieShine. But this isn't just a story. It's a mirror for me, for you. Ethan was once a cold icon. Skyscraper penthouse, heart hollow. He thought, emotions are weakness. Only power endures. Then Sophie came. Sick, sightless, but lighting Seattle. She sang on the street with nothing. "Kindness is the sun in the heart," she wrote in white chalk. For the first time, she heard summer crickets. "They sound like the sun smiling," she said, eyes sparkling. She drew, feeling with her heart. A simple house with Mom and Mr. Ethan. Emily, single mom, steady as night wind. 2 jobs, splitting bread crusts in late rain. Though life leaned, she stood tall. Ethan recalled his mom, childhood markets. No one stopped, just cold stares. Now he stopped, for Sophie, for Emily. Seattle woke. They brought milk, books, sweaters for street kids. The Sophie Bennett Fund grew, like hope in every alley. Blind children learned, dreamed their first dreams. What's the message? Kindness doesn't need perfection. Just a heart that dares to act. One small act can shift a life. You don't need to be a billionaire. Just pause. See someone. A meal for the hungry. A warm glance. A word. "I see you." Sophie did it, without sight. She sang through Pike Street's chill. Emily did it, exhausted. She fought for that tiny smile. Ethan changed, though he had it all. He traded a throne for a home. Seattle did it, with honest hearts. And this story isn't just Seattle's. It's waiting for you today. Who's your Sophie in life? Someone forgotten, needing your gaze? Who's your Emily? Resilient in silence? Needing your faith, your action? What will you do? One small step, or wait forever? Think of Sophie singing in shadows. Think of Emily walking through cold midnights. Think of Ethan leaving his peak to hear his heart. This story lives, because kindness never sleeps. Sophie wrote in chalk outside her new home, "Kindness never sleeps." Scrawled letters, pure, more beautiful than any speech. She's a flame in the night, hope in the chaos. And you, what will you be? A shadow or a spark? Share this story. Comment below the video. Tell us your act of kindness, or who you want to help. Start with one small step. Hit like, share, subscribe. Spread Seattle's flame. You don't need to be Ethan, not Sophie or Emily. You just need a heart with courage, enough to write a new story. And this story hasn't ended. A small flame from Pike Street's corner now lights the world, because sometimes one small act can save an entire life.